I'm talking about still in the process of messing with this Charles Daly. This is my personal gun we just bought, and I tore it down to get all the springs out of it and all, so we could talk about replacing springs. And here it is all disassembled. Well, sure enough, when I took it out, the top lever spring broke. Now, there's 4 different styles of top lever springs, and this one's kind of a big old monstrosity that went inside the frame like so. And wouldn't you know it, when I took it out, it broke. Well, there are no more, and so I had to, I'd heard about retrofitting a different style spring, like this little spring right here. I have tons of these, little top lever spring, and someone mentioned retrofitting a new style spring, so I thought, well, I will experiment with it. So I did, and I had to make a modification to this top lever. And I also had to make a couple changes on the locking bolt. The locking bolt had a shoulder here on both sides, but it's kind of a high shoulder. It wasn't really necessary, and it was kind of interfering with my new style spring. So I ground the shoulder down a little bit on the locking bolt, and it goes in like thus. And then you put in your top lever. Now, what I had to do on this, get my pointer here, I had to mill a slot in the barrel part of the top lever here. So I milled a slot, and that's for this new style spring to fit in. Now, I'd never done that, and I thought, well, it's time to learn. And so I experimented with it, and it worked perfectly. Let's put our top lever back in, and so we can show you how this works. Excuse me. Now, okay, here's our top lever, and our locking block are in place. And this new style spring, remember, it was a big old monstrosity. It went into this hole here. Anyway, we've eliminated all that. Now we have this new style spring. I have lots and lots of these. So if you guys run into a broken top lever spring and it's not this style, you'll need to send it to me, and I'll make the modification. It's not very expensive really to do. But this spring goes in very easily. It goes crosswise in the frame, and you just kind of lay it in there where it goes, and you tap it in. And it's got a little shoulder on it here on the spring, and it comes down and locks into the frame. Bang, there it is. Now here's your new style spring installed, and it works. And I have lots of these available, lots and lots of them. So if you run into a broken top lever spring, I can help you with that. So let's, while we're on the subject of springs, I'm going to remove this spring. You just drive it out. Just drive it out through the other side like so. This is the simplest and the best spring of all. And I have a lot of these, so if you break one, I can send you if you have this newer style spring, I can send you one, you're good to go. If not, you'll have to send me your gun, and I will have to make the modification. So, I'm trying to get this spring out here. You tap it out. It keeps slipping out on me. Get out there. There. So, it just drives out through the frame. Just kind of grab it, pull it on out. So that's the answer to a broken top lever spring on a Daly. But we're on the subject of springs. They do break mainsprings also. Let's kind of get this top lever out of the way. We don't need that anymore. We're going to talk about mainsprings now. When you go to put your mainsprings in, you will need to put in your locking block, and then this is your cocking lever. This cocking lever goes up through. I'll keep my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm talking about here. Here's your cocking lever, and then you take your locking block, and it kind of goes right down, straddles it, and then the locking block goes forward, and your cocking lever goes up into position. Now, this cocking lever has to be in before you put your springs in, because you have a dog on the lever that works against spring. Anyway, Here's the difference between the springs. Whether you buy them from me or you're taking them out or whatever, the right side spring always has a radius on the spring. This little it'll be radius on the top, and that tells you that is the right side spring, which works the under barrel. Correction, the over barrel. And here is your left side spring, and it's flat across the top. And this right side spring, which works, that's your under barrel. It has this radius on it because up inside the receiver there's a radius that this fits up into. So to put your springs in, whether you're replacing springs or putting new springs in, put this right side spring in like so. And you can go ahead while you're at it. Now, got to remember on these guns, the right side hammer swings down and the left side swings up. And that way it keeps your firing pin straight. There's no radical angle to the firing pins, and it's a great design. It works really well. They're great guns. Now, so this is our right side hammer, and you have your spring rides in. It's on all fingers here. Spring rides in this notch on the hammer. So you put this up into position like so. And there it is. Now you have spring tension on that, and it's getting this into the place where it belongs. My cocking lever's dropped down. I got to get it back where it belongs. Okay, there it is. Okay, hammer's in place. Now the trick is to put it back in while it's under tension. Your cocking lever, you don't put the pin back in. You just lay it in there loose. You got to get it up in the position. As you can see, it's not there. It went. It's where it belongs right now. There's your cocking lever. Don't put the pin in though. Now, here's your spring, and there's your hammer. So put your hammer in position against the spring. You might have to bring the spring down a little bit to get the little dog on it where it belongs on the hammer. I know I'm all fingers and thumbs here, but I'm trying to do the best. Okay, it's in place now where it belongs. However, we've got to push it up into position. Now, over the past, I have done things like taking a screwdriver, and there's a boss here where the sears go, and I crank around on the this is the way you'll do it most likely if you have it. You crank around on your hammer and kind of push it up in position. It's tricky, and it can be done. I've got it, and I've got it kind of captured there. Okay, now at this point I have to put it in a vise. Here's my hammer pivot. I'm going to put this in the vise. Now this is the way I do it. This is kind of the hard way of doing things, but it worked. But you need to hold in the vise. Get your pivot ready and a little hammer to tap it in. And let's see how easy it goes in. Now what I do is I kind of get my screwdriver and I look down inside. Get everything ready here, so when I get where I need to be, I'm ready to tap it in. So I crank it around, and this pin, my punch here, is helping me align that hammer up where it should be. And I can look down in there, and I can see. And right now it looks like it's in alignment. And it was. I was lucky. So now, all you need to do is just tighten your pivot pin and your hammer's in place. Now, let's see how it works on the under one. Actually, I'll show you a better style. That's how, if you were doing this left side hammer, you do it the same way just as I just did, by prying around on this boss. And I see we forgot to take the phone off. So anyway, to put this spring in, this spring goes, this left side mainspring goes in with the dog part of it down, and it just slides up into the receiver like so, into position. Then you put your hammer, slide that spring around to where the hammer comes into contact with this notch in the spring. The hammer spring comes into contact with it, and then lay it up in position. Okay, and sometimes it takes a little finagling because this big old hammer, this is a larger hammer than the other side. And so it there it goes. I think it's trying to go. It lays up in a position. I don't know if I'll be able to tap it into place. Let's try it again. Put it in position. You gotta make sure it's against the dog part of the spring is against the hammer where it belongs. And then I feel like I'm all fingers and thumbs today. I get this in position. It's trying to go sorta. We'll have to do some editing on that one. In fact, we will have to cut it off. You're good. Okay, so I got it up in position finally. Took a little finagling. Now, if I want to do this the hard way, I would do it just like I did the other side. I would get my screwdriver in here, and I would pry around on against this sear spring, sear boss, and you could do that, and it would work. And I've done a lot of them like that. This one acts like it's trying to go. Yeah, I could get it in there. However, they make a special tool that makes things even easier. And got my little pivot. And here's the way this thing works. And it works really well. Here's this part here we have made goes up where the sears normally would be. It's in there. And then I have this part of it here. And this goes, there's a cutout here, and it goes against this part of the fixture like so and like this. And then watch this, you just push it right up into position, and it's got a handle on here so you can kind of rotate it around. And this is the, get that out of the way here, there you go. I can look right down in there, and I can perfectly see where this when it lines up, and bang, it's done. That's a handy item. You don't have to have it, but it makes life a lot easier. And so we now have, let's get back on our bench here. All right, we now have our mainsprings and hammers back in position. They went in very well. So now to reassemble this frame, and I don't think I'll put it together too far because I've got some other things that I think I'm going to glue it. Remove this, and then you would put your sears back in place, and they're easy to put in. The sears just go right up into place like so. And then the last thing you do after you get your sears in is you put your top lever in, and it goes down in, I can get it where you can see it, it just goes right down between the hammers and goes like so. Then you have your little top lever dog. Put it in position, tap it in. These springs went in really easy. I'm glad, because I'm doing a video. I've had some that I fought for a long time to get them in, but I've done enough of them I got better at as time goes on. So here we are, we have our mainsprings in place, and remember again, our new style top lever will slide right in. It just taps in, as Donald Trump would say, in one big beautiful movement. There you go. So now you have your mainsprings in the gun. You have your top lever spring in. The mainsprings in this gun weren't broke. They don't all break. A lot of them do. Some of them shoot forever, never break. But leaf springs are prone to break. And I did have to put in the new top lever spring, which I hadn't planned on doing. But when I tore the gun down, it broke coming out. So I replaced that. So now we have this Daly ready to go. It has the new springs in it. It has a new top lever spring. And we're going to reassemble it. And that gun is ready to go. So that's what you have to do to put your springs in. Now I have gobs and gobs of these springs, these main springs. I'll bring them over. I've got handfuls of all kinds of different springs here for dailies. Got like thousands of them. I have ejector hammer springs. I have top lever springs. I have the main springs. So I have any spring you'll ever need for a daily. And if you break a top lever spring and it's not the newer style like thus, you have to send it to me, and I have to make a milling cut in the barrel of the top lever to modify it for that new style spring. You're good to go. So that's the beauty of the Charles Daly. They're a great little gun. They look great. They're all hand engraved. You can buy them very reasonably. And there's a lot of them floating around out there that have broken springs in them. But you don't need to worry any longer. I've got all the springs you ever need. I have firing pin bushings, and I have firing pins. So I have anything you'll ever need for a Charles Daly in stock right here in my little shop.